All right. I hate to start the episode like this, but you know, I feel like I'm due something. I think that you guys need to pay me what I'm worth. At least 25% of the podcast has to come to me, or quite frankly, I hate to do this, but I may have to see you in court then.
25%? What's 25% of zero?
Well, it's not much. Welcome back to the Almost Sideshow, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam. That is Terry, and we're breaking down Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Season 3, Episode 10, which is the finale of Season 3, titled Lantern. This is going to be a somber episode, not to bury the lead. It's going to be a pretty, maybe an emotional journey of sorts. And it's also our end of the season awards at the back end of the show. We're going to give you guys what we think are some of the best of the best from this season in each category that we always do every single week. But we're here at the finale of Season 3. How excited are you to talk about this, Terry?
Yeah, this was an interesting episode. Like we said last week, there's some stuff that just kind of felt inevitable about this episode. And I think we kind of got there. It didn't necessarily go exactly the way we thought.
No.
But definitely kind of went in the right direction. Like we kind of knew that's one of the things of when you know where it's all going to end up, you know a little bit about how it's going to get there. So
being a prequel, you kind of have like certain ideas, but you kind of actually you don't know when they're going to happen. And now that a thing has happened, kind of sad about it. I was like, oh, is this too soon for this to happen? I don't know. But anyway, we'll definitely get into it more. But any quick other thoughts before the synopsis?
Now let's just do it. Let's get into it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Season finale. Better Call Saul, Season 3, Episode 10. Yes, it is entitled Lantern. Let's start where we left off last episode. Kim is in the hospital, arm in a cast, face all cut up. Jimmy comes to get her and take her home, but not before stopping to pick up all the papers on the side of the road. As they try and figure out the next steps for them as business partners and just partners in general, Kim has a choice to make once Francesca shows up with all her paperwork from the office. Does she go back to the lifestyle that put her in the hospital or slow down? The answer is a trip to Blockbuster.
Hell yeah.
She gives up Gatwood Oil, recommending them to Schweikart and Copley. Then she goes home and relaxes with her movies. While all this is happening, Nacho is dealing with the tense situation with Hector and his father. Nacho has the operation all figured out of his father's shop, but Hector refuses to let the opportunity go by without meeting Nacho's dad. In good conscience, his dad can't not say something. Even though he eventually accepts that Hector is now a part of his life, Hector doesn't trust him. Which means his days are numbered. Which means Nacho has a choice between his dad and his monster of a boss. Nacho plans to shoot Hector, but instead, he gets to watch his medicine swap finally pay off during a meeting with Gus and Juan Bolsa, where Hector is told to fall in line and essentially let Gus be his supervisor. Hector collapses. Gus performs CPR, while Nacho covertly swaps back the pills from the paramedic before the paramedics arrive. Now, while this is happening, Jimmy's conscience is eating at him. After Kim's accident, he's realizing he needs to make things right in several areas. For instance, Irene is still being alienated from her friends, and it's all Jimmy's fault. Even though that she's decided to settle, and despite all of Jimmy's efforts to fix it, they refuse to accept her back. So he decides to do right. He has to destroy his reputation. He sets up an altercation between him and Aaron from Davison, Maine, where he confesses he manipulated the old ladies so he could get his cut. Irene has her friends back. Jimmy's reputation with the elder law crowd is destroyed. And Irene isn't settling yet. The lawsuit goes on, and Jimmy doesn't get his money yet. So between that and Kim losing Gatwood, the office and Francesca have to go. His conscience doesn't stop there, though. He also needs to make things right with Chuck. Chuck, who is now getting his settlement from HHM, as Howard shows he isn't bluffing, tells Jimmy that he never has been and never will be important to him. He tells him off to the point that Jimmy leaves speechless. This all leads to a Chuck tailspin where all the progress he made goes away. He turns off his power again. He destroys his house out of complete paranoia, and in a bizarre stupor, kicks over a lantern and sets his house ablaze.
All right. Most heartbreaking moment was that confrontation with Saul and Jimmy. Or not Saul and Jimmy. They're the same person, Adam. Chuck and Jimmy.
Chuck and Jimmy.
Yeah. But yeah, this was very fascinating episode. It felt a little longer. It probably was a little longer. Yeah,
it had to be.
It's like 56 minutes, so it may be a little longer than a normal episode. But
yeah, most of them are closer to 45.
They covered a lot of stuff here. I liked the places we went. No Airman Trout, which when Juan
first episode without Mike in a long time.
Yeah, when Juan Bosa and Gus pulled up, I thought, it was like, is this where he's going to be next to Mike? Is Mike going to be in the car? No, that didn't happen. That was an interesting kind of play out there too. This was like a lot of good stuff that we kind of predicted was going to happen. I didn't quite predict the Chuck stuff on this one, but we kind of predicted like maybe the stroke was going to happen on this episode. I think that kind of happened. We're going to be interesting to see if there's kind of a foreshadow that's going to happen in this episode too, which I freaked out when I saw Hector go in front of the counter at Nacho's dad's business and put the cash on, and there's a red bell there. I was like, oh, Hector and a bell, Hector and a bell, ding, ding, ding. I want him to ring it. And I thought that would have been kind of funny. Like
that would have been perfect.
And ring the bell and then put the cash down. I thought that would have been crazy, but I was
bing,
like, oh, ding,
bing.
Yeah. But yeah, Hector and a bell. I was like, oh, it's. And when I thought like, there's a possibility this is happening in this episode. With that, oh, there we go. But yeah, that was
Sorry, couldn't help it.
Yeah. He's got the buttons. He's got the bells.
I better stop before I blow up the podcast.
Yeah. Again. No.
Again.
Yeah, this was a really like there was a lot of stuff did happen in this episode. A lot of good stuff happened. That definitely I have an idea how we get to certain places anyway. How is it going to turn out? I don't know, but it's going to be fun to dive into it and kind of see where the story goes now that we have at least one big character possibly off the board. I say possibly, but it's just because we didn't see the outcome.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Chuck, but it wasn't looking good.
No,
you'd like to think that he notices what's going on, but we'll get to that at some point. There were some inevitabilities. You knew you were going to get some health issues with Hector. Like that was inevitable. We knew it was coming. Now is this the event that causes the full stroke? Who knows? But this was coming. Did you notice there was a slight like recognition from Gus?
Oh, Gus knew
Nacho handed the pills over.
Gus knew. I was like, oh, I want to see that conversation, and they never gave it to us.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I think Gus had an idea, because why would you put like the pills were clearly on the ground, and they were clearly on the ground. They fell, and he bent down and picked them up and put them all back.
Yeah, Gus is too smart and diabolical to not see a plan working.
The other two
And
guys.
what's funny about that whole thing is in that moment, Mike is on both sides of that. Because Mike told Nacho what to do, and yet Gus is the one on the other side watching it all happen, who is now Mike's employer. Like that, it's
point.
interesting. It is interesting.
It's twisty.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting, how that all went down. I think Chuck and Howard was a great moment. Like, way to go, Howard. Like, you just laid it all out there. And let me tell you what I really think is going on here and what is really happening. That was a beautiful moment. But then another one too, I think it's the second season in a row that ends in a way where Jimmy, we once again see the difference between our protagonist of Better Call Saul and our protagonist of Breaking Bad, in that Walt gets to a point where he actually does break bad and he is willing to do anything.
Jimmy's not.
To move forward. Jimmy may be more clever and is willing to go places that other people won't, but the thing that hurts Jimmy is he's got too big of a heart to hold to it if he feels like he's wronged someone in the process. Like last season ends with him having to run in and help Chuck in the copy shop, and then having to confess because he sees Chuck ailing, even though it was all set up to him. And now we see him have to not only give up his payout, but give up his entire livelihood of how he was making money as a lawyer for elderly. Why? So an old lady could get her friends back. Like, she just needed to move, man. Like, help her move. That's what should have happened. But yeah, just he can't help himself by trying to fix what he breaks. Like he one of the more poignant lines is, "I'm not good at building things. I'm only good at destroying them." And so he's great at, these cons, but then he has to destroy his con even to try and make it all better.
He has to be liked as well. He wants to be liked, also have people. Yeah, he has that big heart, and he wants to be liked as well. So it's a little bit of everything going on there. A little bit of everything. But
he wants what he wants, and he'll be willing to do what he needs to do it. But if he feels like he wronged you along the way, he's like, "Oh, that's not good. I gotta fix that."
Whoopsie.
Yeah, and so it's gets him in trouble. And the only reason he is where he is because he cares too much. Like, that's why he doesn't have his law license anymore. He cares too much.
Very true.
And now when he gets his law license, he's gonna have to completely start over because he cares too much.
Yeah.
And that's when and you know what? It's gonna ruin his reputation to the point that he's gonna have to start practicing law under a different name.
Yeah, that's you'll mention that for sure later, but I was leading that way too. It's like, he can't do elder law now. What else is he gonna do? But his name's gonna be
Jimmy
bad.
McGill can't do elder law, but Saul Goodman might be able to.
Saul Goodman, yeah, exactly. Jimmy McGill can't, and so he's like, I'm gonna have to use Saul Goodman, and have a different type of clientele. That's where I was headed down to. So I think it's kind of an obvious
lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer for criminals.
All right. Well, what was your best scene?
I think
we mentioned a few good ones, but what was it?
My best scene is Chuck dismantling his house, because it is how it's shot, the score to go with it, and that's where the only way that he can get that relief of what's ailing him and that paranoia is to do what he eventually does. I'm saying that's what it is. He immediately kicked that lantern down, and he died. He committed like kind of suicide. That's why I think they're gonna say it at the next. But I think that's the only way to relief, because now he has that pressure and that guilt from Howard taking out loans and using the Howard scene's great too, but that it's the pressure from the Howard sequence there, the pressure of also saying that he doesn't care about his brother, because you do know he cares about his brother, but he's upset and angry with what happened. And then that's initially what kind of triggers what's going on even more, I feel like, is after he said that and he just can't sleep and he's not, and again goes down in the spirals and essentially relapses into what he was happening. But that, how everything's played out, and I just felt like it's like, yeah, this is where this is going to lead, and it inevitably did go that way. And it's such a sad end, because I didn't, and it's not a secret if you can go back to in the archives here, wasn't the biggest fan of Chuck in the first season. The second season, he kind of grew on me a little bit, and I feel like, while the character initially he's probably won most of our douchebag awards throughout the show so far. At the same time is, that was a very intricate part to Jimmy's character as well. So that also could lead into why he's going to go into Saul Goodman character, because he's going to go into that persona a lot harder, and it's going to kind of bleed into hiding his pain probably and the guilt that he has from losing his brother. Could be. I don't know.
He's a character that we've spent a lot of time like getting the depth of. Like he's one of the deepest characters we've had so far, in just looking at who he is, how he's become who he is, and looking at the tailspin he goes under. Well, remember how he got here. He got here in the first place when his symptoms first started showing up after his divorce, when he felt like his life may have been over. All this developed, and now he's feeling like his life is over all over again, with
no work,
because
no brother,
no work. Yeah. And he just kind of, I think the brother thing, I think he feels like he's the one responsible for it all.
True.
That's what I think. And so
he lost
he's
brother
just got
because of it. Yeah.
I think the stuff with HHM, then I've got my two scenes are Jimmy and Chuck, and Howard and Chuck.
Yeah.
Those were the two I had down.
Yeah.
And I think the more interesting one is the one with Howard and Chuck, because Chuck is always the smartest one in the room. And he knows, it's like, I know this chess game. I know how this works. There are three options. One option, we go to court and HHM's reputation is ruined and the law firm goes under. Option two, you pay me out. You can't afford it. The law firm goes under. Option three, we forget this ever happened and we go back to what we were doing before. And he's like, there's only one option here, and it's option three. And Howard is finally able to stop, tell him exactly what he thinks of him in that moment. Say, you've lost it. You've lost your edge. All you care about now is retribution. You're kind of a loose cannon in every sense. And bluff called. Here's your payout. Goodbye. The whole company is waiting for you outside so we can announce that you're leaving. Goodbye. And that was the last thing Chuck wanted, because he thought there was no other choice but to just welcome him back. And now the thing that means the most to him is gone. And it's just, you got to feel for him there. But he's living in the bed. He's like, this whole time, why we kept on saying he's a douchebag, because he's been manipulative and trying to manipulate everyone, because he's smarter than everyone else. And finally, Howard was in a position to say, enough, you're not going to do this anymore, because you're actually hurting people. And so what does he do? He turns around and hurts more people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because Jimmy comes out of full concern. Now, was Chuck justified in what he said? Maybe a little, but he didn't have to go as far as he did.
Yeah, agreed.
Like
'Cause that
that's
was
for like because I think that's that. I thought one of the strangest scenes in this was the opening of seeing the two of them in a tent as kids reading a book together, and it's like, yeah, you can't say what you said to Jimmy
yeah.
if a moment like that ever existed. I think that's the reason it exists. Like he's so hurt by everything that he is pushing everyone away.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I think too, it's like that was a scene where I was like, when he said like never cared about you, I was like, oh my gosh, like I like I said that pretty loud after that happened. I was like, wow, he said that. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, a great sequence. I think the Howard sequence is probably the best scene here. I felt the that kind of emotional weight from the dismantling of the house and just kind of seeing at the end too. It's like, oh, that it's sad to see that character, such a strong character, kind of go out in such a kind of a whimper from what, never would have kind of guessed that actually, but still.
I mean, he had to tailspin at some point. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, but
you just didn't know exactly how it was going to look.
How or when. Yeah.
All right. Betsy Kettleman douchebag award.
I feel awkward saying Chuck, but he did say it. I would say Hector in this sequence. I think it's known that his dad wasn't necessarily, Nacho's dad wasn't necessarily thrilled to have this business be part of that associated with that man, and it goes out of his way to say, "Hey, amigo, we're friends."
Yeah,
and then puts the cash down. He's like, "I don't trust him," and just leaves Nacho there, which is sad too. But
yeah, Nacho had no choice at that point. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I've got down. I didn't know where else to mention it, so I have it here. The douchebag award is was made out to be a douchebag award, and that's Erin.
Yeah, it's like Erin
She
sucks.
She does. She really does. But also she's there doing Jimmy a solid, and herself a solid, really, because it's opening the case back up, so it's not actually going to settle. That was one that was like, oh, she's back, and then you realize what's going on. It's like, oh, she's actually doing something good here, but it only works because of how douchey she actually is.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Good to see that character, probably for the last time. Obviously, I think that's honestly the last that we'll.
I think so, because the Sandpiper Bridge has been burned at this point, and I think we won't see any more Bingo. Unfortunately, that was those were some good moments.
Oh, it's benign.
No more chair yoga with cat cow position.
Nice.
But yeah, I think Davis and Maine has sailed. I think Sandpiper has sailed. Yeah.
Yep, gonna be good.
The Don Eladio Stickman Award.
There's only one answer here.
Yeah.
Gregory Peck.
Oh, yes, that is the answer. I couldn't think of anything, but you're absolutely right. It's Gregory Peck. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, it's Gregory Peck. The ladies love him.
Yeah,
I wanted to be just like him.
All right, we're watching To Kill a Mockingbird again.
Encoring it.
I love that. That was such a great scene, such a great moment.
Yeah.
Monty Python or To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah. Which Monty Python though? She's mentioned it's probably
Holy Grail.
It's Holy Grail, but whenever you say Monty Python, it's like Kleenex. It's essentially a tissue. It's a tissue. But when you mention Monty Python, your head goes to one movie. And like this didn't even matter the show. We're not talking about the show. We're not talking about Life of Brian or whatever the other movies to circus one. It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Classic. Definitely some Stickman in there. some crazy some crazy
Well,
stuff
yeah.
in there. It's a flesh wound. I got the butter.
Well, and that, so, all right. So another, I was like, yeah, it's kind of like, and the one I thought of was National Lampoons, but I honestly don't think, like, when you say National Lampoons, which movie pops in your head?
Vacation.
Probably Vacation. Like, that's the only one where I feel like like National Lampoons is a part of the title. Like, it's
Yeah,
National Lampoon's Vacation.
and then
It's not,
European Vacation. It's like the first two.
but European Vacation, you call it European Vacation. You don't call it National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Correct, but it's in the
And
title.
you say Christmas
technically.
Vacation. You don't say National Lampoon's
Vegas.
Christmas Vacation or Vegas Vacation or Animal House or Van Wilder. Like, the only one when you say National Lampoon's, you think Vacation. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to that.
Mhm.
Monty Python means Holy Grail. National Lampoon's means Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Yep. Good call. Good call.
She's like, how much do I have? 9. It's like, okay. So was that a deal? Like, you have to rent so many movies. You can only max out like 10 movies at Blockbuster.
No, I think she just wanted to keep going.
Well, I'm just thinking too. It's like, was there like, how much would Blockbuster? How much would? There we go. Live googling.
How many movies could you?
Yeah, how many
rent from Blockbuster at a time?
How many? Yeah, movies. How many minutes? A single movie on a standard rental to a low movie pass subscription. Movies you could. Oh, varied by rental plan, but typically range from a single movie on a center. But but this was 2003. This was not near the end of Blockbuster too. So
yeah.
So that might be.
If there were a limit, I'm sure she knew what it was and was reaching it.
That's why she's like 9. What other movies do you think she picked? If she went for Monty Python and
Kill a
Mockingbird.
So she's looking older, right? She's thinking
definitely, and she's got a war. She has probably war movies up. She's watched a couple old war movies too. So
I'm gonna say probably The Godfather's in there.
Yeah, Godfather, The Dirty
something
Dozen.
like that, like something classic. Like she's going for classics, right? To Kill a Mockingbird, Monty Python, classics of the 60s and 70s.
I think The Dirty Dozen would be up there for Get the War Fix.
Oh, that's not bad. Maybe Dog Day Afternoon, something like that. I could see her being into something like that.
Mm-hmm. What other good? You'll like this. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
There we go. I could see her. I could see her potentially going for something like that. The fight of good versus evil.
I can see it. I can definitely see it. And then then she throws something weird in like Fight Club. It'd be funny. Something weird.
Yeah. That'd be good. All right, best new face. Hey, that's Danny Trejo.
Okay, so I don't. Well, who was that guy? Go ahead.
So I'm gonna go with Young Chuck. Played by Gabriel Rush, who it looks like has been in a couple Wes Anderson, that's the name I was looking for. Wes Anderson movies. He's been in Grand Budapest Hotel. He's been in Moonrise Kingdom. So he was just kind of a kid in some of those movies. He's popped up in a couple other things. Like he was a voice in an Ice Age movie.
Is that the kid from... Oh, that'd be interesting if that was the kid.
The kid.
No, from Moonrise.
Kind of looks like the kid from Black Box, but he's not.
Oh, it's Jared Gillum. Yeah, he does look the kid from Black Box. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Oh, that's a good movie. Okay, I've seen him in that movie.
Interesting. Yeah, he's been in some stuff.
Oh,
and he just has this tiny little bit part.
Yeah,
in this movie. Chuck.
Good call. My right above him on IMDb, Efren Villa plays Carlos. He's in 3 episodes. He's one of the other.
Oh, we talked about him already.
I know that, but I just every time he pops up, he's only popped in a couple times. I'm like, who the heck is that guy? We've never seen this guy before.
Where did he pop up here?
Next to Deadeyes, he was the one that got rid of the guns.
Oh, well,
he's
but
like, get rid of the guns, and he drives off.
He's a Hector guy. He's not a Gus guy. So he was.
Yeah, he's a Hector guy.
He was the guy.
Next to
nameless
Deadeyes.
henchman that has a name
Correct.
brought with him. What is that guy? I'm done calling him guy I don't know the name of that is a henchman. What is his name? Arturo. Arturo, played by Vincent Fuentes, is henchman that we never know the name of. At some point, he was called Arturo, I guess, because his name is Arturo. I didn't know his name was Arturo until just now. Even though I think I may have mentioned it once before that his name is Arturo.
Yeah, I think we
But
mentioned
yeah,
it one of the times when he was like giving money.
he is kind of Deadeyes. Like he is the new Deadeyes. How long did it take us to remember that Deadeyes' name is Victor? So I mean, we kind of still don't. Hector's henchman is Arturo, and we're never gonna call him Arturo. He's just Hector's henchman, and will forever be Hector's henchman.
Yeah,
that looks like. Let's see here, Sergio Romo. Yeah,
ooh, it's not bad.
that about right.
Sergio Romo. I could see him relieving for the Rays or opening for the Rays. Yeah, I can see it.
Or either that or closing out a World Series. One of the two.
One of the two. Brian Wilson.
He's got to lose the hair from the back and grow it here instead.
Yeah,
on the face.
It's all party up front, business in the back. It's like the first mullet. Yeah.
Yeah, Sergio Romo's the opposite. He's got the party in the front.
Yeah, definitely a party. Everybody's invited for sure.
All right. Lance, the printer guy, minor character of the episode.
Okay. I think it's Francesca essentially, but I'm gonna say J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, because as Chuck is walking down the stairs, who the heck? It looks like J. Jonah Jameson from these Spider-Man movies. He's got the glasses. It looks just like him. I was like, who the heck is this guy? And it was
I don't know if J. Jonah Jameson would ever
work at a law
firm or have a face that is J. Jonah Jameson, played by Jeremy Strong.
Yeah, this is a different universe. This is a different Spider-Man universe.
Who and also is in the middle of a large gathering of people and really, really has to fart. That's what that face comes from right there.
Yeah. But it's like it was the one guy that they like when he was walking down the stairs, they focused. I was like, it was the one guy that he was not in a dark suit. He was like, I'm like, that's J. Jonah Jameson. Like very recognizable look.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's my.
I like it. I've got and talk about how we can never remember random henchman's name, who's apparently Arturo. Somehow, every time he shows up, I can always pull Juan Bolsa's name out of my butt.
I never can remember that guy's name.
Like he popped up, I'm like, oh, it took me a second this time, but I'm like, it's Bolsa, Juan Bolsa, that's his name. And I always like he is such a guy. Like you look at him, like you have like no distinguishing features about you. Like you look like the plainest, most boringest actor. Like just cookie cutter actor, but at the same time, every time he shows up, you're like, I know that guy. It's the guy. It's Juan Bolsa. It's the guy who Gus takes out in Mexico when we first meet him, and now he keeps popping back up, and it's Juan Bolsa. Like I know that name. It always pops into my head.
I was like, who's Gus with? Is that Don Eladio? I was like, no, that's not him. He's not as cool. It's definitely. And then they said Bolsa. I was like, oh, I knew who that is. Okay, duh.
Yep. Yeah, that's one. I don't know why or how. I always remember that name. All right. Let's see here. Did you already you gave yours, right? Did you give yours? Oh yeah, the guy. The J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah. Yep. Best Saul one-liner.
Yeah.
Oh, Francesca. Yeah. Francesca's great.
She just stepped up. I feel she'll be back. Obviously, we know that.
Best Saul one-liner.
Oh yeah, well, you should invest in Kleenex then, or something like that. Invest in Kleenex. That's funny.
How's Relaxathon 2003 going?
It's not
I
bad.
really like that one. I thought that one was good.
I said, oh yeah, they're probably sending telegrams far and near. And then say, don't worry, we'll get the wall back. A better wall.
A better wall.
A better wall. It's a better wall. Okay, that's no.
No.
And maybe we'll get a better wall. Maybe. Anyway.
Wow, I mean, if muffin baskets didn't work.
Good line.
Not good. And I still love that. I'm not good at building things. I tear things down. And then immediately after that, Kim says, play to your strengths.
He's like,
he goes, I figured it
figured it
out.
out.
I don't want to do it. Let's see here. What other good ones are there? When we win, we celebrate. And don't think I forgot. I've got some kitty toys in here for Oscar and Felix. Any thought on how you're going to spend the money? Maybe an Alaskan cruise? No, too cold maybe. How about a European river cruise? He's just hamming it up as much as possible. And yeah.
I also like too, and he's like, hey, so we have two options: the ibuprofen or the good stuff.
Answer's always the good stuff.
The answer's always the good stuff.
Always the good stuff.
Takes the edge off. Ibuprofen takes the edge off.
All right. Best Breaking Bad reference.
Hector and the bell. I said that. Yeah, seeing the bell in the same shot. It's great.
Nice. All right. So this one it's a little out there. So I realized that I can't look up and like click on anything that talks Better Call Saul while I'm still watching the show, because I did it once and something was spoiled for me. And that spoil came finally happened this episode.
What was the spoil?
The fire. I knew at some point Chuck's house goes up in flames.
Okay.
But here's what it was. There was an article that was talking about, and this is where the Breaking Bad reference comes in. The house they use for Chuck's house is only like a block or two away from the house they use for Jesse's house. Which means Jesse saw the fire. Because he lived in the neighborhood. He only lived a block or two away. He would have seen this house go up in flames.
He's like, yeah, some kooky old man lived there. Set his house on fire.
Yeah, some crazy person.
It wasn't magnets, bitch. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I could have used some magnets though. It's a house I broke into when I needed my chili pea.
Yeah, blue.
Yeah,
with a bomb. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, that's
Jesse
cool.
lives close by in the neighborhood and would have witnessed or at least seen the fire from his house.
I think him and Badger would probably have been like smoking doobies and just like, dude, remember that crazy guy? The guy with his house set on fire, and they're probably telling stories about it. I can see it.
I could see them thinking, if we don't have a lighter, we can just go over there.
Yeah, because it's already on fire.
It's already on fire. The fire's already there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was my Breaking Bad reference.
Okay, that's kind of
the one thing that had been spoiled.
Nice.
And I clicked. I'm like, oh, Chuck's house burns down. I can't click on anything now. And yeah, and now it finally happens.
Luckily,
midlife crisis moment. Oh, so go ahead.
Luckily, I haven't had that, yet. But
I didn't feel like it was too much of a spoiler. And I mean, with a house like
there's
that,
no context.
I didn't think it was going to go up like that. I didn't think it was going to be. I mean, is that, you could question, was that intentional or was it not intentional? What happened? Like, Chuck's just kind of, I don't know if he even realizes where he is at the moment that happens, or is he trying to knock the lantern over?
Oh, he was trying.
Okay.
I think it was a suicide thing. But they also too, it's gonna be like, well, it was a freak accident, so he's not gonna think they're not gonna think it's a suicide,
Right.
essentially, because it's already been up in the news. But no one's gonna believe. Obviously, Jimmy and Howard have both seen his house. They're inside the house, so they may question the suicide or the freak nature of it. But
yeah. All right. Midlife crisis moment.
so I did say not good at building shit, but good at tearing it down. I did say that for midlife crisis, but I will go, and as a parent yourself, you can appreciate this. Kids asking questions without hearing the full story, or without waiting to listen. It's like, just wait, listen to the rest of the story. Your question's going to be answered if you just wait a couple more minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. My midlife crisis moment is I am old enough to have blockbustered and chilled.
Yeah, Blockbuster and chilled.
I remember. It was high school or college. I think I may have been in college at the point where Todd and I would get it was when they had the Blockbuster pass where you would pay like, it was like $15-20 and you could rent as many movies as you wanted for a month, but you had to but you could only have out like one or two at a time.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were within walking distance of a Blockbuster where we grew up. And so we would pick a month that in each summer, do that. And we would watch like 2 movies a day for an entire month. And like we'd get a movie, we'd watch it, we'd take it back, we'd come back and we'd watch another one, we'd take it back if they were still open, we'd bring it back, watch another one, and we just spent the entire month watching our way through the entire Blockbuster store.
Yeah, we just made our way through the A's.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's so many movies like early to mid 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s movies that we have seen only because we did that, like for that summer or two, where we just said, all right, it's our movie watching month. Go.
Yeah. So I lived next to a Blockbuster, but also a Hollywood Video as well. It's another one. One of my favorite stories, I was lived in California, and the place we lived at the time, we were pretty close. I believe it's a Blockbuster. I used to get like Super Nintendo games from there, and getting games from there. But then my favorite, like, we got picked 2 movies out. I think we were doing like a scary movie marathon or whatever. So we rented Alien Resurrection and Starship Troopers, my mom and I. And I think I was maybe like 11. So my first Alien movie was Alien Resurrection, just the worst one, no big deal. I remember like having some kind of like, I had to close my eyes on a couple sequences. Mom was like, close your eyes. But Starship Troopers is the one that I actually do. I actually own both of them, but I love Starship Troopers. You'll eventually watch it when you get to that for the Oscars. It's a fun one, so you'll borrow it. But Starship Troopers is a fun movie, and I remember actually having nightmares from it, but I still enjoy it to this day.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, so I love having those memories. Like, what was the good thing that you rented? And I was like, yeah, that was the one.
That was the one.
That was
the one good thing you rented from Hollywood Video.
Yeah, Alien Resurrection, said nobody.
I think the most time I spent in Hollywood Video was cleaning it out after they were going out of business. I must have bought like 50 DVDs from Hollywood Video.
Yeah, Blockbuster was the place though, but those were the 2 prominent ones though.
Yeah.
Eventually, I've never been to the last Blockbuster in Oregon, but eventually.
Oh yeah, I've never been either. I know. Well, I've been to where it is, like it's in Bend. I've been to Bend, but I've never been to it. And yeah.
One day.
Sorry, while you were talking, I had a beer explode on me. So good times. I opened it up and it's
LVP, your beer.
LVP. I'm
All
old
right.
enough to remember Bitter Beer Face. Remember Bitter Beer Face?
Oh, geez.
Bitter Beer Face.
There we go.
Anyways,
what's the?
we're off the rails now.
Yeah. What's your LVP?
All right, LVP. My LVP is electricity. Why was electricity still running through his house? Like,
yeah.
what was
why
it?
was that phone? How was that phone working?
Well, no, you could work. Landlines didn't need
Okay, I'm an
electricity.
Idiot. Okay, it's
You
been a
just-
minute since a
It's
landline.
been a minute. I'm old enough to know that landlines didn't need electricity.
We had a landline. I just don't have a landline at this house. Okay, so disregard that stupidity. It's been a minute. I had a landline when I was a kid.
How was it still ticking? That's what I wanted to know. What was it that was keeping it moving?
Yeah, this is
What was your LVP?
One arm shit gets old.
You're not feeding me.
That's
There's
off the
boundaries in our
table.
relationship.
My wife's like, no, you would feed me. It's like, I'd say that would suck. I was like, at least cut the food for her. At least cut the food. Yeah.
All right. MVP time. I've got two. I've got Howard and Francesca.
Yeah, Howard and Francesca. That's the two. Yeah. Because they both.
I mean, you could say Jimmy too, but it's just Jimmy being Jimmy. But Howard and Francesca, they really rock this one.
Yep, for sure. I agree.
Okay. So let's roll through. We may do this a little quick, but our season awards